In this video, I'm going to give you a few workflow tips for working with Photoshop and iRise. So the concepts we'll cover centers around a set of features in iRise that allows you to drag images into the Screens panel, and iRise will either create new screens using those images, or update existing screens that use the same file name. And you also have the ability to drag images onto the screens themselves and either add or update an existing image. And in this video, we're going to use both those features. So first, let's jump into Photoshop. Here I've created folders for each screen in my prototype, and I've named each folder so that it ends with .png. And in each folder, I've got a sketched, a wireframe, and a hi-fi version of each screen. To help show what's going on, I'll open up the folder where this Photoshop file is saved. And what we're going to do is have Photoshop export a PNG of the contents of each folder every time a change is made. And to do this, we're going to go to File, Image, and select Generate Assets. And once we do that, we'll see that Photoshop has created a new folder and saved a PNG version of each screen. And now we can grab them and drop them into iRise. And now our prototype has a screen for each. And of course, from here I could start adding hotspots and navigation and adding functionality to the prototype. And what's nice is that Photoshop updates and saves a new version of the image every time a change is made, as you can see here. So as you iterate and land on a new version that you want to use in iRise, maybe going from low to hi-fi, you can just drag them into the Screens panel, and if they use the same file name, you'll be given the option to replace them. We'll do that here, and you can see that it's now updating all the screens with the new iterations. This is a great way to sync your Photoshop and iRise work, and it's nice because your prototype isn't updated until you want it to be. So a few quick notes. You can always turn this feature off if you don't want it to auto-update at some point. Also, this does work at a layer level, so you can rename any layer to end with .png, and it's going to work the same way. And if you don't want to automate the process, you can always right-click on a folder or a layer and select Export to PNG. And remember that one of the benefits of iRise is that you're not limited to only using images for your screens. You can also include real working widgets and form elements. So you might want to leave space in your comps so you can do that. And earlier I mentioned that you can also drag images onto your iRise screens. So let's say we've got a Photoshop file and we're working on various images for a screen. Like we did before, you can either name a layer, or in this case a folder, to end in .png, and it's going to update those assets for you. As you can see, it's using transparency to crop the images appropriately. I love this feature because it saves me from having to create individual PSD files for every element. So then we can drag those images onto our iRise screen. And as we create updated images, we can drag them onto the screen and replace them. Which reminds me of one last feature you should know about. You can also paste images from other applications into iRise. So if you find an image or a layout you'd like to use, you can right-click on an image to copy it, or you can use your sniping tool. Then just right-click in iRise and select Paste from another app, and then click Ctrl-V. This process can be useful when you want to build part of your screens using Photoshop images, and also use iRise widgets as well. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you have any questions or if you have Photoshop tips that you'd like to pass along, you can send them to info@irise.com or click the chat button in iRise and let us know. So thanks for watching and take care.